Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Okay. So here's what I'm doing. So I was like, oh look, Demon K-pop Hunter came out. So what I went and did is I set up the Fortnite porting things. Go find it on YouTube. Blah 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 blah. And I got it. But it kind of sucks. It sucks because when you look at the characters, they don't have. Well, Zoe looks fine. Zoe looks pretty good. But they don't have like the parts I want. Like, where's her crotch at? Like, her crotch doesn't exist. Like, this is kind of her crotch. Yeah, that works. But let's look at, like, Rumi. Rumi has a crotch. Never mind. That's not what I'm looking. But Mira doesn't. Mira just has whatever. Like, it's annoying. Either way, one of the biggest issues that I run into is trying to get the bones to look good. And I have a bunch of different options that I could do. One of those is to, like, align everything up and then use the actual skeleton to like set it to the second skeleton and blah blah blah. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm running into an issue, and this happens a lot, where it's just the weights just don't want to take. And so what I'm gonna do is something I rarely ever do, but I'm gonna do it for this particular mod because I want to get it done. And it's cool because I like this show for some reason. It's freaking hilarious. I do not um know how to set up faces and whatever, so there won't be any face animations for this. So this is just going to be a free download. If anybody else wants to do a better version, go ahead, whatever. But yeah, this is going to be for second 8. I think I'm going to just make this for all the characters. I'm probably going to put physics on the hair because the hair is so long and it kind of needs it. But I don't know how much time I'm going to put to it. But the first step is just going to get it in the game. So we'll start with Mira because she has the most of her body showing in like a format. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find her hair. And now I'm using 4.2 because Blender is going up and using 3.6 is not going to last forever. And so I'm going to do my texturing manually until I make a new plugin that's going to work for, I think I'm going to do it for the 5 series because it's going to be coming out soon. But right now 4 point whatever is one of the latest. Um, so this is 4.2 LTS. I think there's a different one. It's another LTS, but for now, this is what I'm going to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my base mesh for the females. And I have a full body base mesh right here that I'm going to use. Or actually, I'm going to use this one. And oops, let's get out of edit mode. And I'm going to bring this in, if it'll let me. I said, come on, stop. Okay, drop it in there. All right, cool, nice. I don't have any bones on her. Oh, I do have some bones. Okay, so what I did is I created a meta rig, and I just rigged up the meta rig, right? Cool, nice. And that's just so I can pose it easier. So I'm just gonna pose her up. But first I want to separate her hair. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna select her hair. It should just be her hair, and we're just gonna separate that selection. And I'm gonna hide it so we don't have to deal with it. All right, so now I just want to get this body to fit. And so I'm just going to initially do a scale. All right, and I'm gonna try to set up the crotches. Boop, there go the crotches. Um, or actually, I'm gonna set up the arm width. Okay, so I kind of want the shoulders to be like that. All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just set origin to geometry. Set this. Just try to match this up, and I want kind of like the armpits to match. Right, and her armpit is like right here. So we're just gonna get that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff. But all right, let's go get it just to match as best as I can. We'll go into pose mode now and set it to this. I'm gonna try to line these up as best I can. I'm gonna set this to normal so that it goes along the bone. Hit SY, do it like that. Rotate it, try to get that knee right in the right spot. All right, and then she's got her ankle. Ankle's looking pretty good, but this is gonna go all the way down to the ground. Move it up a little bit. There we go. Nice. All right, cool. Now her, if I can use this to like squish stuff, I will, but I don't think it's gonna do very well. Well, it's not too bad. So I'm gonna make her a little bit skinnier. I'm gonna try to keep this skinny about the same, which means I gotta fix these legs again. All right, so we're gonna do this. I think I might move her legs out a little bit. Um, but let's go ahead and move her down a little bit more. There we go. That way the crotch line still stays. All right, there we go. That's looking good. All right, now let's get the arms in the right position. So we need that same angle. But it looks like let's see if I can make this a little bit wider up here. Looks like I can. So let's try to get the angle right. And let's do SY to try to make her, it's not really working. So let's switch this to global. I want to kind of pick her arms up into about the same position. Nice. Go back to normal. All right, let's make sure the shoulders are lined up. The shoulders are not lined up. The whole body doesn't need to be lined up. So let's do that. Uh, 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 uh. So grab the hip bone. Well, the legs are good, but the back isn't. So we're gonna straighten up her back a bit. And her arm is kind of in the way, but there's like a little line right here that's showing where her back is at. So we'll follow that. Try to get her neck in the right position. All right, let's go ahead and move neck if we can. Let's move this a little bit forward. All right. And I'm gonna adjust all of this anyways a little bit. So we're gonna just try to match it up best we can. Let's go ahead back to normal. That's fine. Get that chin there. Get the head like so. And maybe I can just scale the whole head up. That's one. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I would love it to be, but it doesn't have to be. Just wanted to get it mostly right. Right. The eyes don't match up, but that's fine for now. I really just want weights is really what this is all going to be about. Now let's make the head a little bit fit that. All right, cool. Very nice. All right, so let's get these arms set up the right way. So we're going to go ahead and just stretch these arms out. Whoop. I'm going to stretch them out too long real quick because I just want to see where the spot is going to be. So it's going to be back a little bit more. This arm like this. Just like this. All right, cool. Oh, but I got to get the arm in the right position. So it looks like the shoulders need to go back a bit more. So let's see if I can just rotate the shoulders a bit and see how that looks. Trying to get like the elbow mark above the same spot. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna do the arms, and I'm just using S to scale all of this stuff. And I just want to get the wrist kind of in the right spot, and then the top of the hand, I want to get lined up. Oh, these need to get moved. I want a more accurate rotation, so I'm just gonna do this. All right. It looks like the wrists are in about. No, we want to get the bottom of the thumb, this part and this part to match. So let's get that up a bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect, um, but I do want it as close as possible to make the next parts easier. Press wide, the knuckles at about the right spot. And then I want this to be more in the center of the hand. So we'll just move this down a little bit and we should be good. Now for fingers and stuff, it's always like a little bit complicated to get the fingers to match up. So I'll do that part next. Okay, so here we go. So we've got this body and I've got this this armature, but I want to keep it, right? So if I just, let's go ahead and convert this to a mesh, boop, and then let's go ahead and clear the parent. See that it changes a bit. We don't want that to change. So I need to go ahead and set the transforms for both of these. So Control A, all transforms. All right. And when I did that convert to mesh, what that did is it applied the armature positions. So I have this base mesh, so to speak. And now with this one, I'm going to go ahead into pose mode. I'm going to hit A, and I'm just going to apply the pose as a rest pose. There we go. So all my bones go back to the right spot or right. They're not all elongated and crazy looking. And we're good. All right, nice. And then I can go back and reattach this if I want to. Parent armature deform. Right. So I can move it. See, boom. Let's go ahead and move it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're moving it. All right, so I don't really need to move it right now, but I just did that. So, very nice. So I'm going to match up the hands real quick. So the way I do hands matching, it's a little bit crazy. And the purpose of this is to kind of create a repeatable setup. So I want to do this for Mira, and then I want to be able to apply this to Rumi and to Zoe, right? So that way I can do most of the setup work with one character and the rest are good. And they're all like the same size, right? They have different outfits. They look a little bit different, but they're all pretty much the same size. So there shouldn't be much of an issue. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Shift D. And I'm just going to call this hand for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all the bones in the right place, except for I'm going to change them according to this. I'm going to repose. So we're going to go into edit mode, right? Boop. And I want to get this set up. And I want to keep it consistent. So what I do typically is I'll go into snapping, set it to center, set it to volume. And I want to keep where this information is, I want it the same. So usually I go from the wrist to the index finger, right? And we're gonna do it about half between the thumb and the knuckle crease, right? So that's where it is right now, but I'm gonna hit G so that it goes and sets to the center of this volume. For the bones of the hand, like the parts that like cause like whatever, I'm just gonna go to the wrist and add just 2 on this side and then 2 on this side. So we're gonna go grab this, go to here, grab this, go to about here, grab this, and let's do it about halfway actually. So I'll do it halfway between like thumb crease and that. So we'll go like here. And we'll do the same thing here and here. Now the knuckles, are going to be right. Oops, and I'm going to grab both of these. We're going to bring those over, and they're going to go about this section of the hand, right? So they're not really at like the bottom part, they're above it. And this one doesn't have a lot of detail. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the color mode on so I can see where the creases are. And I'm going to go ahead and place these in the creases. And then I'm going to put this in the top of the finger, but not the nail. All right, and we're just gonna move. All right, one of the reasons why I didn't switch to Blender is because I couldn't find or this version. Oh, and then this goes right here at like essentially uh not the middle of the thumb, but like from the middle and then half of that. So like at a quarter of the thumb is usually where I put it. This joint will go pretty much right here in between those. We got our thumb. We got this. And let's see this about here, I think. She has a really long part to her hand. And actually, we'll bring this back to the wrist. All right, there we go. And if we can straighten it up a little bit, I'm gonna do that. I mean, it looks pretty good, but I'm gonna put this one over a little bit, like so. All right, nice. Okay, so I don't need to see Mira for a second, so I'm gonna go ahead and hide her. So I've got these bones right here. Let's go into pose mode, and I'm just gonna select all the bones, and I'm just gonna give them a color. These are gonna be like my base bones. I'm gonna go over to the bone tab over here, and I'm gonna go down and find colors. If you're using 3.6, it's in this portion in bone groups, but they changed it around for 4. So here we'll go to default, or I'll go to pose colors, and I'll make this. Let's see. I'll make it light green. All right. And it's just for like, it only ever does one bone. So then you'll just go in and right click on it and say copy to selected, and it'll apply to the rest of them. I just learned it, to be honest. All right. So now let's get the meta rig that we have here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to pose groups, select all the bones, and you can't see it because there's bones over top of them. But if I were to hide the hand bones, you see they're selected. All right, same situation, go into here. I will choose a different color. I'm gonna choose yellow. Same thing, copy, selected, there we go. All right, so my goal is to get these hands to be in the pose of this hand rig. So I'll select both of these and go into pose mode. And so now my goal is to match everything up. One of the things that I want to do though is I want to change the position that I have for uh, these hand bones, because right now I think they're set differently than how I just did. So I'm gonna go, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. Let's bring that back. So these are, see, these are set to about the middle, and I think what I did before was set it between the thumb, right? I'm gonna look again just to make sure. Yeah, so for, let me bring back both of them. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, so let me hide this for a second. Hide this. All right, so Rumi's is set B. Okay, halfway between the thumb crease and the wrist. So I want to make sure this one is set the same way, right? So let's go ahead and turn this back on and turn room or mirror off. And we'll do the same thing so it's along this line back here. And we're gonna go, oops, let's go to edit mode. I'll hit G, set that back here, set this back here, set this back here, and set that back here. This is in about the same position, right, between the thumb and that. And this one is just like that other one. All right, cool. All the others are set up the right way. Well, it looks like my pinky is a little bit off. So let me fix this. Move these down a little bit. Like that. And my thumb looks a little bit crooked, so we'll fix that. All right, so now I'm just gonna select these bones and select the same bones over here. Oops, I will shift, not caps lock. And we'll go into, so I'll select with these bones selected, I'll hold shift, select on this, go to weight paint. And now I want to, with these bones selected, I'm gonna go to weights and assign from bones. And it should just focus on the bones that I have selected. That way they move the right way. Oops. It's Alt. Okay, so if I move it, there we go. All right, nice. Okay, cool. So the initial setup, I have this base mesh sort of ready to go, but not completely. So let's go ahead and get it to the point where it is. So we'll go back into here. I'm gonna go ahead and save this, save as. I'm gonna save over this blend because screw that blend. Got all jacked up. All right, so let's go select both of these. Oops. Select both of those. Go to pose mode. And I want to match everything up. I'm gonna leave for now. I'm gonna leave the hand bones. Oh, you know what? I'll do the hand bones. I'm not gonna mess with these. Are the hand bones. Like I don't care about these. So just hide those for a second. I want to turn X mirror on, and I'm gonna go ahead and match these. So I'm gonna hit this, then hold Shift, and this one hit Shift S, and then selection to active. If you're using the meta rig, the index finger here controls the thumb finger, so I always start from the pinky. Shift S, selection, Shift S, selection. Oops, I just want to make sure. If you think you moved the wrong one, you can just reset the bones by just clearing user transforms. Typically, they won't move on the other side when you're doing this type of snap. So we're going to go ahead and make sure everything is snapping correctly. And so you can see that it hasn't. So we'll do the same thing, Shift S. Oh, you can repeat an action in Blender by hitting Shift R. So if you don't want to go into the menu, you just want to quickly do it. Oops. But if you do a different action, it'll forget. And so it just won't do anything. And all you gotta do is just redo it. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to get these. Oh, see, I think I did it backwards, right? So I moved the green ones, and the green ones are not what I want to move. What I want to move are the yellow ones. So I need to go back into here, go into pose mode, hit A, hit clear transforms, and do it again, but do it the right way. And I'm going to go into here and hit clear transforms just to make sure everything is back to its the way it's supposed to be. And we'll just reset. So I want the yellow bones to move. All right, so Shift S, boom. Shift R, Shift R, Shift R, Shift R. Let's see. All right, cool. All right, so now I just want to move everything. Up. See, once again, I moved the wrong bone. So let's move these. And I'm looking to. Uh, I'm gonna hide these bones here because I don't see them. And I'm just doing a general rotate. I mean, rotating in the Z axis. So I'm gonna hit RZ so I don't have to use the little dongle thingy. RZ. And I'm just trying to get them to just line up, right? For this one, is it still a RZ? I don't think so. No, it is. All right, cool. Nice. Okay, but it looks like it's not, it didn't, looks like it didn't snap. So let me make sure I do that. I'm gonna go ahead and clear transforms real quick. Yeah, it looks like I moved the wrong one, so hit Shift S. There you, this one to this one. There we go. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Usually I'll then jump over to the back and forth to make sure that the mirror is working. So we'll go here, frame selected, and we could see that the mirror is working. If I wanted to, I could probably, where are they? Let's see, view, frame all. Wait, where is everything? Where's the stuff at? Oh, I've got the armature hidden for whatever reason. Okay, so here I can go in. So this will be the right hand, and this will be the left hand. And I'm pretty sure this switches both of them. It does. Okay, cool. So I can work on the left hand if I want to. We'll go ahead and just make this big. Make sure they're both selected. All right, cool. And I can kind of monitor it as well if I want to. So let's go ahead, set this up so I can kind of see what's happening over here. There we go. All right. Okay, so yellow to green. So I'm going to use RZ to line this up. And then RX. And usually that's all I'm using is RZ and RX. All right, and then I use SY to scale. I just want to get those points at the same spot. There, that matches up pretty good. Very nice. Okay, so we'll say RX. Nice. Alright, and if I look over here, that looks lined up just the same. And then I'll do the boring process of getting it done for all of these. Boom. Here we go. Oops. Alright, there we go. Ours. Oops, I had F. R. X. Okay, R. S. Y. Oh, let's get this one. And I imagine you can use the stick mode as well. I don't ever use the stick mode. I hate the stick mode. But if you want stick mode, that is an option. And I am going to try to find a way to automate this a little bit better. Now, as for automating this portion, I do not think I have a solution. But once this portion is done, I want to be able to just transfer like poses and things pretty easily, especially if they're using the same rig so that I don't have to do this part manually anymore. Um, I was getting close and then, it's, it kind of sucks. RZ. Coding sucks if you don't really know what you're doing. And then it's all ChatGPT, which is very helpful for a lot of things, but not everything. Oops. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so these hands matched up. Both sides are looking good. This side is not looking good for some reason, and I don't know why. Let's see what is happening. All right, let's just grab. So maybe I didn't snap this one right. Pretty sure I did. Okay. I'm going to clear the rotation for both of those. Okay. And now, all right, so I'm not sure what I did, so I just cleared it. Oops. I want this one to snap to this. Shift S, section active. I don't know why it keeps moving like that. It shouldn't be. This one to this one. Shift S. There we go. All right, I think that's right now. All right, so this will be one. Let me make sure I got the yellow one. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so ideally what should have happened is um when I bring back my reference mesh, I should have this body with hands bent, just like the girl's hands. So if I hide that for a second, let's hide this one for a second, and then let's bring Rumi's body back. Everything should be matched up pretty well. Okay, cool. And now what I can do is I can do the exact same thing I did here. So we're going to go into here. I'm going to go ahead. I'll apply it this way. So we'll apply the armature. And then I'm going to go into the pose mode. And we're going to pose. We'll hit Alt H so everything's showing. We'll select everything, go to pose, apply as rest pose. And then I'll put this back on here. Parent armature deform. And now let's see if the reason why I did this actually reveals itself. Okay, so let's hide this body for a second. So I've got these bones, and they're lined up pretty much to match um, this model as well, right? So I should be able to just add the weights to this model, and it should work. So let's try that. So let's grab this, and then we'll select those bones and parent automatic weights, and it gives me an issue. All right, because these are in like parts, like they're like floating around and stuff, and so sometimes you don't get a really good weight transfer that way. You can try. There's usually three things that I'll go for. I'll go for um, merging uh, some of the parts together. So let's see if there's anything that's like. Okay, so those are all one material, so I don't really want to do that. Um, so I'm gonna select based on UVs, and I'm just gonna grab the skin parts that I know are skin. And look, her neck is all in like little UVs. We've got our arm here, we've got a hand here. All right, then we'll hit H to see what that is. We'll say, all right, cool. Let's see if we can get more of her neck pieces. Control L. Okay, we get her face too. So that works, but there's still more neck. Um, let's see, do we have face maps still? I don't know if they got rid of those. It looks like they did. I kind of wish they didn't. I don't know where the face maps are, if they still exist. But I really liked face maps, but whatever. But let's see if we can. We got vertex groups if we want to. Create a new vertex group. And I'm going to call this one skin. And assign it. All right, so if I go in here and go select loops, boundary loops, these are all like the seams that aren't actually closed, right? And I want them closed. So I'm going to go ahead and then go to mesh, clean up, merge by distance, and now they'll all be closed. If I go to select these, it should just give me the whole sections versus parts. Let's look at her shirt. I'm going to hide her shirt for a second because let's make it not invisible. All right, so I'm going to select, I don't know how I missed a hole in her shirt. Okay, hold on, let's see. Let's put it on color so I can get a better idea. Let's turn that off and let's hide our bones. I'm gonna hit Alt H real quick, bring all this stuff back. Okay, so I'm gonna select her shirt pieces, and I'm just gonna hide them. These are our inner shirt pieces. Oops. Okay, and it looks like it's like a bra section or something. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this is just because I want the rest of this neck attached. So we'll do that. We'll do select groups and then mesh, clean up, merge by distance. Okay, cool. So now it'll select all of those at once. Nice. Um, I'm gonna hide these. No, all right, no, we're just gonna audit. All right, so let's see if that helps. Sometimes it helps with just that level of transfer, and sometimes it doesn't. So we'll go back to this meta rig here that now has this pose, and we'll go ahead and see if it will take the weights, automatic weights. And I still get an issue. I'm like, ah, that sucks. But I still want to get it. So now I'll use the method that I was talking about. So we'll grab this that has the weights and go to this and go to weight transfer. And we'll weight transfer it. And nearest face interpolated by name. There we go. All right, so I should be able to hide this now. And now, if I move this, I can move her stuff around, right? Very nice. And I'll show you what all this is for in just a bit. Okay, so one of the things that often happens with the heads is that the weights for the head using this method doesn't fully capture. So I'm going to go in here and go to weights, and I'm going to hit the head. I'm going to set this to projected and make sure that front face is off. We'll set strength to, well, let's make sure we're using the right tool. Go to this, fall off, brushes, okay. And I don't want to mix, I want to mix. I'm also going to set this to, I don't want mirrored vertexes, I do want auto normalize, and I can turn on mirror like that. And basically I'm just going to paint, turn the weight to full, we'll paint the head, which is usually along the jawline to the chin and the face. And we want our head to be able to go up and down like so. And then we'll go ahead and blend it out a little bit. Doesn't look too crazy. But ultimately, we're going to be using, oops. These are all kind of like work in tandem if I was actually animating it. Right. And I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of some of this weight here. Subtract. Now, one of the things to kind of alleviate my stress with this one would be to make sure that this version is set up correctly. So when it transfers the weights, it's going to transfer them the way I want them to. And so we'll go in. So one, I want to go into edit mode and I want to fix this setup. I want this to be straight. I don't want it to be whatever. So I'm going to set this like that. We'll keep, see, when you bend at the neck, yeah, it's up here. Typically, we want to make sure this is set at like the base of, let me turn this off. We want this to be at the base of the throat, like right above the clavicle. And we want this right about at the chin, and then this one goes pretty much between the nose, usually. So just line those up. And if I want them all perfectly lined up, I can. I'm going to make this one go vertical though. Set this to global. All right. So if I want to make an adjustment, what I can do is let's go to this and we'll redo the parent automatic weights. And before I transfer them again, I'm going to fix the head weights for this. So select both of these, hit backslash to isolate them. Go to weight paint. And we'll do the same thing. Oops, not with that. With this. I can also take a look at some of the other weights and see the type of influence I want or don't want. So this is looking pretty good, but I think I'm going to, let's see how this is set up. I think I'm going to grab some goes. I'm going to move this up to about where it begins. Like that. And I think I'm going to move this up and over. We'll see if that does a better deformation. Automatic weights. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Cool. Edit. Pose. And this is good enough for now. All right. Cool. So now I should be able to go ahead and bring everything back. Let's grab this, grab this. We'll go weight paints, weight transfer. Oops, I did the wrong way. I want this to this. Weight. This to this. Weight transfer. And I'm not sure what's happening. Why are okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear the weights from her completely. Okay, so I think it was just some old weights that were showing up. No, it still doesn't want to do it. Hmm. I wonder why. Oh, because. Oh, okay. So it looks like whatever weight I painted on there wasn't correct. So let's see if I can find it. See what I did. Or it didn't stay. But it should be weight 6. So I'll just redo it real quick. Um, okay, so we'll go to this, and then this. Weight transfer. Why is it doing that? Is it backwards now? Alright, let's see. Is it what? I'm quite confused. I'm not even gonna lie right now. I want. These weights should, like it's not taking for some reason. Let's do this. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna apply all shape keys real quick and try it again. See if that's the problem. No, it's not. It's supposed to be replaced, but vertical never space. Projected face interpolated. What is happening? I'm not. To be honest, I don't know what's happening with that one, and it's quite frustrating. What I am gonna do is change the shape of her head, though. Whoa, that's way too much. Let's go ahead and turn the strength down, and give her. It's super puzzling though. I don't think I've ever had this particular issue before. Where it changed my weights. That is so crazy. So strange to me. Also, why is the head not even? Like, what happened? What happened here? Very strange. But whatever. That's very strange. So the exact thing that I wanted to do, it's telling me that I can't kind of do. Oh, I do want to fix the body here as well. I want this to match a bit more. Oh yeah, let's go ahead. Well, that is frustrating, but it is par for the course because that happens all the time. So let's do automatic weights, whatever. It shouldn't be too big of a deal either way. Let's go ahead and I'll just delete this group. So we'll just do it again. I mean, because, oops. I mean, the weight is transferring. It's just not transferring perfectly. Let's try A, Control A, all transforms. See if that helps. Wait. Transfer. Oh, the head still wants to be shitty. Whatever. Um, brush data block. Why is it set to add? I don't want to add. I want to mix. Could that be the problem? It's supposed to replace, to be honest. This really is bugging me. Wait. Transfer. Yeah, like why are these weights not taking? Why is this next not matching again? Spelled. So strong. Transfer. Says transfer from selected messages to the active one. Let's try this one more time. Okay, that seems to work. All right, I don't know why I wasn't. Wait, why did I do it on? Oh, wait, what? Okay, so I think I sort of know what's happening, but this fall off. Why is this? Our brushes might be messed up, so we're just gonna do this and this. Check both sides, make sure both set up correctly. There we go. All right. Back here. Okay, so now it's working. All right, I'm not sure what I was doing wrong. I think maybe I had some settings goofy, but that should be resolved for the most part. Okay, cool. All right, so what I can also do is I can go ahead and take, let's go ahead and hide Rumi for a second, or let's go ahead and clear her from the parent for right now. And so I've got this weird alien body chick. I can go ahead and grab a basic meta, grab this meta rig right here. Oh, where's the body? Why is the body not attached to it? Let's grab this one. Okay. Okay, so here's the Tekken girl body, right? And what I want to have is a quick pose option. So I'm gonna go ahead and save again. And so what I want is to get these pose and these pose to match, right? So there's a couple of ways I can do it. The way that I'm gonna go about doing it is, um, a visual setup. You can use a bone snap if you want to, but I think for this case, I would just want to do a or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and make her big, right, and try to keep all the proportions in line. And my goal is to line up the crotch and the shoulders as much as possible. If I can get the shoulder crease, that'll work too. But it might make I might have to play around with the sizes, right? So let's see. If I go in here, then I can let's see. Let's go ahead and make this shorter, right, to get her waist in about the right spot. Okay, that's not so bad. And I want the body to be pretty centered, at least with the legs. Now with the spine, I can now move this body to try to match it as much as possible. Spine over. Just. And so I want the shoulders to be in the right place. All right, but I think I have to make a quick run, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and stop the stream for now, and then I'll pick it up again in just a bit. Let's see. I'm gonna make this just a little bit bigger. All right, nice. And so she looks like a bit of an alien, but that's okay. It's all gonna work out.